All right, you're here. Congratulations, I guess. It's 3 a.m. It's freezing, maybe 40 degrees if you're lucky, and you've just been born in a gap between a dumpster and a dry cleaner wall. It's not a burrow. Don't call it that. It's a pile of wet cigarette butts, some shredded newspaper from last week, and that gray, fuzzy lint that blows out of laundromat vents. It smells like diesel and stale bagels. You're one of 8. You're blind, hairless, and shivering on top of a losing lottery ticket. And your mom? She's not hanging around. In the wild, sure, rabbit moms might stay close. But here? She's gone. She shows up for maybe 2 minutes a day, tops. She feeds you, cleans the nest, and then she vanishes. It feels cold, yeah, but she's doing you a favor. If she stays, she leads the stray cats right to the front door. And in this neighborhood, you can't afford visitors. So get used to the quiet. Or, well, as quiet as it gets when a garbage truck is backing up 5 feet from your head. It takes about 10 days for your eyes to actually open. Before that, it's just noise. And that's the first thing you realize about this place. It never shuts up. In a meadow, you listen for snapping twigs. Here, it's sensory overload. You have to learn to filter it out immediately, or you'll have a heart attack before you're 2 weeks old. You stop hearing the constant hum of traffic. You ignore the air brakes on the buses, but you learn to pick up the weird stuff. The specific click-clack of dog nails on the sidewalk. The sound of a bike chain coasting. That's the stuff that kills you. Your eyes are weird too. You see everything at once. 360 degrees. It's like having a security camera feed running directly into your brain. You aren't looking at things. You're just absorbing movement. You can see a hawk circling the roof of the bank tower and a toddler running at you with a sticky hand at the same time. And honestly, the toddler is usually the bigger problem. So you hit 3 weeks old. You've got fur now, brownish gray, kind of looks like dirt if you squint, and it's time to go outside. The first hop onto the sidewalk is a wake-up call. Concrete doesn't give. It's hard, it's cold, and it vibrates every time a subway train goes by underneath. You learn the rules of the road fast. Rule 1, humans are basically blind. They walk in straight lines, staring at their phones, totally oblivious. If you freeze, you vanish. You're just a rock, a piece of trash. You can sit 3 feet away from a guy waiting for an Uber and he won't even know you exist. But the wheels, that's a different story. Bikes, skateboards, those silent electric delivery scooters, they're fast, they don't make noise, and they weave. To a city rabbit, a kid on a skateboard is basically a land shark. You don't try to outrun them. You just get out of the way. Now, let's talk food. You aren't eating lush meadow grass. You're eating whatever you can find growing through the cracks. Dandelions are gold. Clover is rare. But the Holy Grail? The community garden. Every neighborhood has one. It's usually got a chain link fence around it, maybe a lock on the gate. To the people living in the condos nearby, it's a hobby. To you, it's the only decent meal in a 5-block radius. But getting in is a nightmare. You have to find the spot where the fence is rusted out or bent at the bottom. You squeeze through, scraping your sides, and suddenly you're in there. It smells incredible, basil, tomatoes, kale. But you can't relax. Not for a second. A lot of these places have motion sensor sprinklers now. It sounds funny, right? Getting sprayed with water? It's not. In the winter, getting wet can kill you. And even in the summer, wet fur makes you heavy. It makes you slow. And in the city, slow is dead. So you take a few bites of some heirloom carrot tops, ears swiveling like radar dishes the whole time, and then you get out before the lights flick on. And then there are the other guys, the ones trying to eat you. It's not like the cartoons. There are no wolves here, but there are hawks. Red-tailed hawks love the city. They don't need trees. They love the skyscrapers. They sit on the gargoyles or the AC units of the tall buildings just watching. They have incredible vision. They can see your nose twitch from 40 stories up. You'll never hear them coming either. The only warning you get is a sudden shadow, and by then it's usually too late. Then you've got the cats. Not the nice house cats that sit in windows. I'm talking about the alley cats, the ferals. They're tough, they're scarred up, and they know the streets better than you do. They don't always hunt because they're hungry. Sometimes they're just bored. A cat named Chomper, missing an ear, looks like he walked out of a horror movie. He's the reason you never take the same route home twice. You zigzag. You go through the pipes. You hide under the parked cars. And lately, coyotes. Yeah, in the city. They're smart. Scarily smart. People have seen them waiting at crosswalks for the light to change. They use the train tracks to move around at night. They aren't afraid of people, and they definitely aren't afraid of you. To them, a rabbit is just a snack on the go. But despite all that, you hear stories. Street legends. You ever hear about Bobby Two Paws? Old rabbit, lived down by the 14th Street station. Legend says he lost 2 toes to a rat trap back in 19. They say he once ran right between a guy's legs to escape a dog. But the crazy part is how he ate. He didn't bother with the grass. He figured out that the deli on the corner threw out the bruised lettuce heads every day at 4 hospital. He'd just sit there under a parked van waiting for the drop. He lived to be like 4 years old. That's ancient. In rabbit years, that's basically immortality. Bobby is the reason we stick it out. Sure, the suburbs are safer. The grass is greener. But it's boring out there. Here, you have to be smart. Winter is the worst part, though. I won't lie to you. The garden dies. The snow turns into this gray slush that burns your feet because of all the salt they dump on the roads. The salt is the worst. It cracks your pads, ruins your traction. You spend half your time trying to lick it off. You get desperate for heat. You learn which basement windows leak warm air. You learn that if a car has just been parked, the engine block stays warm for hours. You crawl up underneath the chassis, huddled next to the muffler, just trying to stop shaking. It's risky. If the car starts, you're in trouble. But when it's 10 degrees out, you take the risk. You eat bark off the ornamental trees just to keep your stomach full. You scavenge pumpkin rinds after Halloween. It's a grind. Every single day is just about keeping enough calories in your body to make it to the next morning. But then spring comes. The snow melts. The first green shoots pop up through the cracks in the sidewalk. And you're still here. You climb up onto a ledge somewhere, maybe a park bench, maybe a concrete planter, and you watch the sun come up over the buildings. The city starts waking up. You hear the sirens, the honking, the construction crews starting their jackhammers. Millions of people flooding the streets, and none of them have any idea you're watching. They think they own this place. The developers, the drivers, the people in the suits, but they don't. They just live on top of it. You live in it. You know the shortcuts through the sewers. You know which fences are broken. You know how to vanish in plain sight. You're not just a rabbit. You're a survivor. A little gray ghost in the machine. So you twitch your nose, shake the dust off your coat, and hop back into the shadows before the morning rush really starts. You survive the night. Now you just have to survive the day. But hey, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.